Hey, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to draw 3 different boats using a square that goes back in perspective, just like this. I'm a dad who draws with this unshaven sailor look. It's perfect for boats. Come on, let's get to work. My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws. I want you to get out of your mind, you're not drawing boats. Just remove that. You're not drawing boats. Okay? That's the first thing. The next thing is you must trust what you see and not what you think. Okay? Trust what you see and not what you think. And if you could remember those two things, I think we are going to get along just fine. When you are drawing a curve is so much harder to draw than a square. Okay, so let's just go over a couple things. All right. So first thing, I want you in the border of your paper. I just want you to draw a rectangle. Okay, just draw a rectangle. And the way that you find the center of a rectangle is that you would put an X in it. All right, so that establishes the center of a rectangle. To find the center line of a rectangle, you would simply take one side like this and guesstimate where the halfway point is. And on the other side, you could do the same. Take this distance and just estimate where the halfway point is. And then you can connect these two, and they hopefully will run right down the center. All right, so I want you to remember that as we draw tonight, okay? Next thing, what you could do is also you could take this rectangle and you could put it in perspective, something like that. Try that, will you? Now that rectangle is in perspective. We know it's in perspective because this is fanning out, or it's headed to the same vanishing point. Find the center of it. So let's just kind of cross over here just like that. Okay, look, that is the center of this rectangle in perspective. All right, let's find the halfway point. All right, so between here and here, find the halfway point like that. Between here and here. All right, so here's on this back end here, same thing, find the halfway point just like that. And now you can connect this two. You see that? And so you could actually use this method to find the center on anything going in perspective. We're going to use this to really get our boat correct. All right. So as we draw this picture tonight, we're going to start off slow. And then as we get further along, we will be able to speed up just a bit. Now, this is the hard thing. The boat is going back in perspective, but it's on a tilt. So, all right, look. There's the corner point there, okay? Here is the back end, just like that, all right? Don't draw right now, just watch, okay? That's going back in perspective, all right? And that is going back in perspective. Then we're going to draw something like this. Just watch. We're going to do this slowly. I'm just showing you how we're going to approach this tonight. Then we're going to draw like this. Now we've established that will be the hardest point to get. If you get that angle right, then you're going to be in business, okay? We already know the bow of the boat is going to be right there. Here is the back end. So we're going to make a line like that. We're going to come in here like this. And this is how we will use to get our boat at the right angle and to curve everything. I'm going to start with a border. Then all I'm going to do right now is try and match that line, that angle, right? Just like that, okay? I'm going to match that angle. Then I'm going to match the other angle. And I'm going to try and get this as accurate as possible. We've got to determine now where this corner point is. Okay, that's what we're going to determine. So let's take a look at this. Look at the distance between the side of our picture and our angle right there. You see that? If this is the side of my picture here, I'm going to come maybe around right about there, because once we get this established, it's going to make life so much more easier. Okay, next, figure out where this one is there. Okay, so you could just kind of judge this distance. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to go right about there. I think that's my mark. Might be a little bit shorter, right about there. Now, let's come up here. Let's get that front end of that angle, just like that. All right, let's get the back end here. It's going to be going in the same direction, just like that. All right, let's go ahead and find the center of it. Going nice and slow. Okay, between these 2 points right here, let's just find the center, and you can just guesstimate it. Your mind is very good at finding the center of things. And then the same thing with the back end here. We'll find the center between these 2 marks. Okay, let's get the center part. Let's bring the center of the part of the boat down. It's going to be something like this. And then let's get the other center part of the square here. So between this and this, it's going to be about there. Okay, between this and this, it's going to be about there. So watch what I do first, and then I want you to follow. Okay, so the top part of this boat is going to come around like this. And then the back end is going to come around like this. Just follow the guide. All right, so we've got the right angle here. We got the right angle of our boat. Let's get this top part section in here, up here, okay? So I'm just looking at the shape now. I'm going to come around. Something like that. All right, the bottom part of this boat is flat because it's sitting in water. All right, so it's really going to come around like this. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that away, because we've got the basic. That was probably the hardest part of getting the right angle there. All right, let's add some thickness to the top of our boat here. I'm just going to very lightly come around. Get the thickness there. We've got some oarlocks right there. You see that? And they're at the center, so we could just kind of indicate that we know where those are. And then there's a slight curve of a board. Can you see it? I'll show it to you. And at this point, I'm going to follow my guides. I'm not going to follow the picture per se, because I want to make sure my boat stays consistent with the framework that I set up for it. All right, you have that back seat there. And then you have another board that's coming across like this. All right, I'm going to keep going here. I got this box shape that's coming out like this. And it looks like they've got an oar coming back here. Has a little bit of a round edge to it. And then the back of the boat, it has this board that's standing up. You see this? And in the front, I have this board that's kind of coming up there like that. All right. Let's move on to our next boat. I'm going to leave the details and come back and hit the details a little bit later. But let's get the bow, and I'm going to start. The bow is going to be right about there. All right, I'm going to look to this bow right there. And then I'm going to determine where that point is right there. You see that? And it's almost, look, if I draw a straight line, look, they almost are lined up exactly horizontal with each other. So let's see now if this dot, if I use a vertical line of measurement, it's just on the outside. So okay, that's a good location for that. Let me see where I could find what that little dot is lining up with. And if I go straight down, oh, look at that. It goes right through the oarlock of the other boat. I'm going to come up right about there. In fact, I'm going to push these up just a little bit more. Is lining up right about there, okay? Okay, let's go ahead and draw those. So I'm going to come in here with a slight angle. You see where this cuts down right there? I'm just going to do that, right? Just like that. This angle right there. You see that angle? I want to do that. Okay. Connect those like that. This is going to be into the water's edge, so we'll just leave that like that. Okay, so that's the outline of my other boat. Let's get the last one in now. There's my bow. And here's the back end of the boat right there. And here's the back end of the other side. You see that? All right, so this boat is sitting like flat in the water, so this is nice that these two are going to be very horizontal to one another. Let's see if this lines up with anything with a vertical. Okay, look at that. It's just right off the center of that boat there. Okay, that's a great measuring point. And if I drop a line straight down from here, okay, that's just off the edge there. Okay, I think I can manage that. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the center of my boat right there. And the back corner of the boat is going to be right about there, I think. Everything relates to one another. And the far back end over here is going to be about there. I'm just kind of estimating here, okay? So that's about the back end there. Okay, and I'm going to look at this. This is my next line I'm going to draw. Look at this. It's like a hook, like a fish hook almost. You see that? Let's draw that. Just like a fish hook. How about the other side? Other side is similar. Look at that. All right, let's get that in as well. In the bow of that boat, we got that plate. You see that? Flat right there. We've got that edge. That edge. Our bow is going to come straight down a little bit. And then you want to curve it. Curve it on the hole over here. You might have a slight curve over here. And then you're going to get right where it goes in the water. So much of drawing is finding like key points and then just building off of those key points. Get your first object in perspective, get it very clear, and then you could go on from there. You start measuring things off of other things. Let's start working with some of these boats in the back. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of determine how far back they go. What I'm looking for is really like this negative shape. Look at this. All right. That's what I'm kind of aiming for in the back of my mind. It's going to be right about here, I think, in my picture. Maybe a little bit more narrower. Okay? And I'm just going to kind of use that as a guide. I'm going to think of all these boats as one mass, one thing going on, okay? Start with this guy right there, okay? He's center. He's what I'm going to cause everything to go behind, to grow behind. So all I'm going to do is just kind of draw a small silhouette. And I've got this other guy on the far end there. All right, there you go, better. And I can see behind him there's another boat that's behind this guy here. We'll come back, add more detail in a little bit. Just trying to get these, I'm not thinking boat here, I'm just thinking shape. Just thinking shape. Well, guess what? Once you get those in, that is the hardest part. Hey, we started with the hardest, got a little bit easier, easier. So if you were here at the beginning and got to this point, man, you've done really well. All right, let's go ahead and go back into this now and start adding some value. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is add value to these back boats back here, and they're all in shadow. So very carefully, I'm going to try and add a singular value. They have some reflection in the water. All right, so now we're going to just very, very lightly, I'm going to start erasing some of these earlier measurement marks I have, okay? All right, so all we're going to do is just lightly add value. Look at, now this is going in perspective, believe it or not. This even tone. And look closely now, look at this. There's like a dual shadow going on. You see that? You've got to really trust what you see and not what you think. Trust what you see, not what you think. This is my first pass of value. And even all these guys have a gray value in them. And also this whole bit of water here has a slight value in it. Okay, let's go back in and add some darks now. So wherever you see the darkest, wherever you see the darkest, it has to be super dark. Drop that in. Just avoid the water for right now. That's all I would say. We'll come back and address the water in just a second. Take your time, go slowly. Go slowly. Quick second, give this video a like and jump down there in the comments and tell me the biggest boat you've ever been on. For me, I've been on an oil tanker. Wow! Okay, let's get back to work. Go slowly. No rush. Look at this. I'm a little bit off on mine on the right-hand side here, but that's okay. I'm just going to kind of own my mistakes. Or I'm going to erase this just a little bit. There, that's a better curve. Okay, look at this. Look at these. Let's get these.
I've got a couple more videos.
I'm going to get these dark shadows underneath my boat that's in the water.
That one down there.
So in this case, I'm going to follow the shape. I'm going to trust what I see and not what I think. Same thing in the back here. Now this has a not quite as a sharp edge. All right. All right, let's get that secondary shadow that's in the water here. And I'm just going to outline it first because it's really cool looking, but it has a very sharp edge to it. Trust what you see. All right, let's get that tone in here so it's very even. But you just got to get comfortable with the weirdness of this. All right, then we have the shadow on the other side. Again, that's also a pretty hard light, pretty hard edge there. All right, I'm gonna work in this on the inside part of my boat here. And as I'm doing this now, I'm really thinking only of shape. Shape and value. And it doesn't have to look exactly like the picture, because you've got the, as long as we get the initial, as long as you got the initial perspective down, no one will ever remember what the picture looks like. We have a great Facebook group that I would recommend if you're watching and you're wanting some more help when you draw. Do please and like the video. That would be awesome. And leave a comment if you want. No, I'll change my mind. Leave a comment even if you don't want to. Right? That's what you got to do. Leave a comment even if you don't want to. And you could even say, boy, I hate boats. If Kurt ever makes us draw another boat again, I'm going to kill him. So all I'm doing here in the background is now I'm just using shape and value. All right, we are 2 minutes out. Does anyone have any questions? That was a very difficult beginning, but I think we got through it okay. There are some little ripples in the water. You can definitely add those if you want. Thank you for watching, everybody. Any last questions before we call it a day? Because you know what, an hour of drawing that's plenty. Okay, y'all earned some dessert tonight. All right. Hey, listen, my name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful. Yeah, jump in our Facebook group, post your picture, let me know how you did. And that's it. That's what I got for you. I will see you guys later on, okay? Tune in on Wednesday night for our portrait class, okay? My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws. Have a great evening or a morning or a day. See y'all later. Bye-bye.
A dad who draws. Hey, if you like boats, I've got a couple more videos you'll want to check out. Check out this one up here or that one down there.